Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good night. So welcome to the Shi-Fi podcast, episode 12. Um, let's see. Shout out to everybody listening. I'm still continuing my listening or watching. I'm still continuing my podcast splurging right now because I'm catching up. I don't know if you've been listening to my previous podcast, but I am going crazy with the podcast right now because I set it out. I started out late April saying, okay, I'm going to do a podcast once a week. And I did it for like 3 straight weeks. And it was very nice. And then I just like had a super busy month in May. And as a consequence, I always like to push myself, and I'm like, okay, if I miss a week, I have to like make it up somehow, some way in the future. So if I miss, like for example, let's say I miss, I'm doing a once a week thing, like I caught up, but I miss a week, and so that means I'll have to do two that next week, just to have an average of once a week. So with that being said, I went 5 straight weeks without a podcast. Yeah, and I'm like, I need to catch up. So I guess it's a good thing in a way. I'm getting a lot of episodes done. Um, uh, it's just talking. It's not. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's really just something I personally want to do, and I really love the whole podcast, YouTube, or the podcast world right now. And since I have a YouTube channel, it's easily accessible for me to publish my podcast in a really good platform. So that's basically my explanation. I'm like, I think 4 episodes behind currently. I was like 7 episodes behind last week, but I did 3 last week. Probably do more of the same this week. So I feel like I'll be totally caught up in about 2 weeks. Normally, the goal for this podcast is to have me and get like one of the bros, one of my really good friends, on every like episode, like once a week. I'm not trying to invite them to like these podcasts right now because like I don't want to, you know, I don't want to rush them. I don't want to I feel like I'd be annoying um, if like asking them like, hey, do a podcast real quick or like do another podcast. So voila. So that's the whole explanation. Um, one second. So it'll be much more fun in the future. And yeah, so but plenty to talk about right now. Plenty to talk about. Um so yeah, shout out to the YouTube family, shout out to the Spotify community, shout out to the Apple world. Shout out to I don't know what else other platform there is really. Um I mean, it's funny the way I published the podcast. There's like 10 other platforms. I'm like, who are these platforms? Like, I don't even know. Um, uh, yeah, so I don't even. And like, I'm looking at like the stats and stuff, and I see like there's like other countries listening to this podcast, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm like, interesting. 3 people from France are tuning in for some reason. Hey, I don't know if that's exactly right, but whatever. Um, yeah, so let's just dive into it real quick. 2019 NBA Finals Game 5 last night. Stressed, depressing, crazy. those are the words I would use. Obviously, the whole Kevin Durant injury situation was super sad, super like kind of speechless type of thing. When he got injured, I first thought, okay, he just re-injured that calf, you know? I'm like, okay, now he's done. Like he's not done. He's done. But then I remember Doris was having like an argue or like a sideline report, and she reported that press couldn't be by the room because there was like intimate talk or like talking going down. I forgot the word she used, but just like serious talk, basically code word for they're seriously talking everything out with this significant of a player. And so the first thing that I thought was like, what if like he got really injured, like majorly tore his calf or like Achilles. And so I was like, wow, this could be if they're having like that serious, like where they don't want press in the area. I was like, man, this is kind of bad. And then I was like watching on Twitter. Some people had videos of him walking out of the locker room on crutches and with a boot. And I was like, oh no. Because I was like, is this another injury? Isn't that? Because I was thinking like, if it was just a calf, it would be because we never saw him in crutches or like or with the boot on in the previous month with his little calf injury, and so I was like, oh no. Ugh. And then a part that was super like just crazy was the Bob Myers press conference. I actually like watched it live. I like to stay up watch the finals post game conferences. I thought it was really weird for the GM to have his own press conference, but I'm just assuming because of the whole injury, they'd want him in. And so, first was a statement, and oh my goodness, when he started tearing up, I was like, oh no. I was like, this man tore his ACL or something horrible. Sure enough, Bob's like, yeah, it was an Achilles injury. Sheesh. Man. And then you go, man, and it just makes you think, like, basically, what I started thinking about was, okay, was the whole Kawhi situation, medical team, was Golden State's medical team pushing him? Was Kevin Durant really wanting to go out there, or was he being pushed? Was he being pressured? Was so many questions popping up. I still want to know. Like, I'm not looking to blame somebody. I just am just curious to see like what the team doctors actually said. You know, because that's a tough thing because like they're not in the public eye. The medical team, the medical doctors, no one knows who they are, and they're taking care of one of the best players in the league. One of the him and Bron are the most polarizing players right now. And I just want to see like how they went about that. Like where the doctors, Warriors doctors, kind of like, yeah, you're good to go, you're good to go, letting KD like, oh, you can play, and KD not really like knowing what to do or like how to take that information from doctors, blah blah blah. I don't. What I'm trying to say is like I'm trying to compare this to the whole Kawhi situation because Kawhi was very conscious of his injury. Apparently, all the reports that came out were uh, his medical team was saying he was cleared to play, and Kawhi kept telling them, "No, I just feel something else is bad with my injury." And so when you go deeper into that, you get to see the Spurs doctors were maybe just wanting like a 90% Kawhi to play. They were like fine with it because a couple years ago or last year, Kawhi came back. I think 20 games into the season, played like 9 games, left. Y'all know the whole story. Like for people that don't, it's just like he played 9 straight games randomly in the middle of the season, and he just like disappeared. And people were like, "Why is he not playing?" People called him weak or like not weak. People called him like, "Oh, he doesn't want to work hard. He's struggling." Um, I was on. I mean, I was on the train of like, why is Kawhi not playing? He's cleared to play. So that's where it gets super tricky because the doctors see. I don't know. Again, liability stuff. All the medical world. Maybe doctors saying cleared to play, and I'm quote quoting quote airing that air quote yeah I'm air quoting cleared to play because I'm like, what does that exactly mean? Does that mean is he 100% or is he like 80% and he can like play? He can, there's a risk of more injury, but so that's all. That's all. I'm so there's just so many deep internal questions about the relationship between the medical staff and the players. Because the medical staff can just make stuff up and be like, "Yeah, you're cleared to play," but in reality, like the player doesn't need to play. So I started overthinking about that a lot um, yesterday. So many, so much to uncover. So much. Wow. So yeah, and then I mean, KD looked great, but maybe that. I mean, he was playing great, but maybe he shouldn't have played in the first place. It didn't. Okay, him playing great didn't mean that he was 100%. So y'all know that. I know that. He went down. Blah blah blah. After fans kind of started cheering. And blah blah blah. Injury. And let's see. Trying to figure out something. So yeah, Raptors won Game 5. No, Warriors won Game 5. Trying to word this. Now they're only down 3-2, going back to Golden State. So that ending was crazy. Crazy. Let's break it down. Raptors up by 6. Kawhi goes on a crazy 10-0 run. MJ-esque. And I was like, Raptors going to win the title. Raptors are going to win the title. A 6-point lead with 3 minutes left to go. Oof. And we went on a 12-2 run. Nick Nurse calls a timeout. A lot's been talked about that. I wasn't a fan of it personally. But again, it wasn't the end all do all that timeout. They still should have won, but I feel like the timeout benefited the Warriors more because the Raptors had the 6 point. They were on the run. Raptor fans were going crazy. Everybody was standing up. Kawhi had the ball. He was dribbling. Could have made an 8-point game with like 2.5 minutes. Momentum all on their side. And then timeout. I'm like, whoa. Nick, what do you – okay, whatever. You had the momentum. It was kind of weird. It gave me a weird feeling. And then also thought it was weird that Siakam didn't play the last 2.5 minutes from that timeout. I mean, why isn't the second, third best player on the team not playing in the last 2 minutes? I get if it was like for offensive, defensive reasons or whatever, but he never got back in the game. So that was more of a question than the actual timeout itself. And then after the timeout, y'all know the story. Warriors went on a 9-0 run. Steph and Clay went off. I heard that the NBA actually brought out the trophy and started putting stuff around the locker room with when Kawhi was going on that run, because there was like 3 minutes left. NBA was kind of freaking out, like, oh my, they might win. So then, yep, all that happens. And wow. Comeback was crazy. So now, Game 6 in Golden State. At first, I was like, Golden State's going to win. Golden State's going to win Game 6, and they're going to come back to Toronto with the momentum Game 7. That was my first initial thought after the game, Warriors in 7. But now, I'm saying Raptors in 6. When I say the Raptors are going to win this next game in Golden State. And it just dawned on me this morning. Out of these 5 NBA Finals games, the road team has won 4 of them. And it's been the last 4 games. We've had 4 straight NBA Finals games where the road team has won. What in the world? What? That's got to be a record or something. That's got to be a record. If that's not a record, I will be shocked. So with that simply said, I think Raptors can handle Golden State's fans. Wrap it up. The only way Golden State's going to win, to me, barring any like crazy performances by like a Quinn Cook or McKinney or those weird, unique games. Never know, might happen in any game. But the regular, normal Warriors, the only way I feel like they're going to win is if Steph and Clay have to score 30, 40 points each. I'm thinking Kawhi is going to be on Clay. And Steph's going to have one of those, like, another Game 3 performance where he had, 40-ish, 30, 40, 47 points. He's got to have that type of game. Yeah, he's got to have a Game 3 Steph. I don't want one of those games. Because if you combine that with now Clay is healthy, now that Clay is healthy, like, if Clay scored 20 points and he was playing in that Game 3, Warriors might have won. I bet the Warriors would have won. So still could happen, but I think Raptors in this next game will win. I really wanted the Raptors to win in Toronto. If they're going to win the closeout game. Man, I wish it was in Toronto. It would have been sad. It'd been a weird feeling if Raptors would have won last night because that'd have been so much to like uncover. The KD injury, Raptors winning the title, so much. So I'm happy as a fan. We get 3 more days of nonstop press, nonstop sport hot takes. I love how spread out the finals are. It's just like 2 to 3 days each, or 3 days in between each, 2 days in between each game. Just love it. I love it. Last night's game was the first time I felt that that NBA Finals intensity since 2016. I missed that intensity where this is deciding the future of the NBA type of game. You never felt like I never felt like that the last couple of years. But last night I was like, ooh, I felt it. It was good. So yeah, I think in conclusion, let's see. Raptors in 6. It's either gonna be Raptors in 6 or Warriors in 7. Because I feel like if the Warriors win tomorrow, Thursday, they're gonna have a lot of momentum going into Game 7. So we shall see. We shall see. What else is there to talk about? Is there something in the music world? Let's see. I gotta write something down. Okay. And also a short little tangent. Personally, I get weirdly triggered by people getting triggered of 1% of people. The whole what is it? The whole situation with Raptor fans or you stink if you're not rooting for Kevin Durant. All those, I just kept seeing that around Twitter. The one reason I hate Twitter because of this. They acknowledge the 1% of people, and I'm like, leave those 1% of people over there, and let's just us 99% of good human beings have our own world. And so I was just seeing on Twitter, Instagram, I'm seeing all these people saying you stink if you're not rooting for Kevin Durant to come back from this injury. And I'm just seeing this stuff, and I'm just like, who's not rooting for Kevin Durant in this situation? Who is not? If you're not rooting for Kevin Durant, you're just one of the worst, a bad human being. And I'm not even saying I'm not rooting for Kevin Durant, the human being, and rooting for Kevin Durant as an NBA player competing are two completely different situations. Two completely different situations. People that are oh, you've been hating on Kevin Durant, or not liking Kevin Durant. Well, look at him, look what you did. I'm like, fam, slow down. These are two completely different situations. If you're not rooting for Kevin Durant as a human being to come back from an injury and wanting him to succeed, if you're not rooting for that, you're 1% of human beings that are not good. You're not a good human being. And I'm pretty sure that's not that's not even an unpopular opinion. That's just normal common sense. So I don't even think about the people that are I mean, I urge people to not think about the 1% of bad human beings in any situation, regardless of sports, music, politics, blah blah blah. There's always 1% of bad people in every category. So don't pay them any mind, and pay the people, the 99% of the good human beings, your mind. So that's all I gotta say about that. It's just like common sense, y'all. It's common sense. So I'm off my soapbox right now. Is that what you call it? Why is it called a soapbox? I don't know. Um so oh, here's a topic. So I live in Dallas, and we had a storm Sunday. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Crazy. I was out at lunch with my family. It was like a late birthday lunch. We were at a hotel, like 5 stories up, in the middle of downtown Dallas. Sunny. We're right by a window. We are right by a window. And all of a sudden, in like 5 minutes, turns black. Not pitch black, just like that very dark. It looked like it was 8:30 p.m. Like the sun had set and it was about to be pitch black in 30 minutes. But it was like 1 p.m. at the time. I'm like, man, that's something bad about to happen. It was very apocalyptic. And my sister was like flinching a couple times because like there were things flying around that weren't supposed to be flying around. And I mean things like just bags flying up in the air, you know. And so I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And so it rained. It stormed for like a good 10 to 15 minutes. Like horrible wind. It was pretty bad. And I'm like, and it turns back to being sunny again. So I'm thinking, okay, we just had a weird 15-minute thunderstorm. So I go home, mind my own business. My sister is like texting me like, "Oh wow, did you see street signs on the ground? Like, what are you talking about?" And then many hours later, I get on Twitter and Facebook, all that mess, and I see like all these posts about apartments collapsing and cranes falling on an apartment complex, and I think a couple people died. I don't know, one person died. I'm like, my gosh, what in the world just happened? And looking at, or the weather was saying like we had 80, 90 mile per hour winds, which is category 1 hurricane like. And there was this picture I saw the day after, and it was literally just the downtown complex of downtown Dallas. There was a wide view of downtown Dallas from afar, and it was just this one huge big thunderstorm around it. It was a very crazy picture. Just Google, I don't know, Dallas, downtown Dallas. I think it's from the Washington Post. Downtown Dallas thunderstorm, Washington Post. Google that and look at that. Crazy picture. Man, that's so sad about the person dying. So sad. I I have no words. Like I think I saw something where the person that died, was just watching TV in her room. Crane fell. I think it's from the crane. I think it's from that same situation. The crane fell, killed her, and yeah, super sad. Uh, very sad. I don't know what else to say about that. Just man, bad. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just really, it really makes you think about your life. You can just be minding your own business, and a thunderstorm just passes by, causes ricochets, and you're dead. Like, geez, man. But yeah, my heart goes out to all that situation. I can't imagine that, and especially like uh, the other thing, like your apartment just being torn to shreds. It was basically a really quick hurricane, tornado type of thing. My dad was telling me that like the main like a couple apartment complexes were totally destroyed. Like the owners couldn't even get back in there to get like recovered items. Like it was destroyed. One lady or one lady said she moved in June 1st. 10 days ago. 10 days ago. She was probably moving that whole first week of June. And then June 9th happens. Destroys the whole thing. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Makes me disgusted. Ugh. Makes everybody rethink things. It's just so that Dallas Storm, man. Very weird situation. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Just so sad, so bad. Just I've just kept thinking about it for the last 48 hours, and yeah. So I don't know what else to say about that uh, publicly, but just pray for them. Pray for that whole situation. I don't tough, tough. There's no other way to say it. So, sad. Yeah. So let's just end the podcast a little bit. Let's end with song of the week. Um, song of the week and coolest thing. I know the song of the week thing is getting weird the last couple of weeks because I'm recording multiple podcasts a week, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing the song of the week. If there's multiple, I can have multiple songs of the week. It's Not You, It's Me. That's my song of the week. It's Not You, It's Me by I mainly found it because of Black, or to some of y'all, Six Slack. I literally found it a couple days ago because I really love Black. Black is one of my favorite non-super mainstream artists. And so he was featured in the song. It's called "It's Not You, It's Me." The original, like the songs, it's featuring Black. So the songs by, I think her name is B Miller. I think it's B.A. Miller. I don't know, but it's spelled B-E-A Miller. Apparently, I think she was on X Factor, one of X Factor season. I don't know, but I really like the song. It doesn't lose train of thought. It's literally about like self-love but in a cool way though. People like it's just self-love without self-love isn't selfish is basically like the theme of that song. I agree. So yeah, there's nothing else to it. So go check out that song. There's this one part in the song where like the beat skips and B Miller just like sings the pitches in that skip beat. I heard it the first time and I was like, did my phone do something? Or was it the actual song? And it kept doing it. I was like, that's the actual song? Wow. that is new. So um, so that was that. That was that. um, so yeah, that song of the week. It's Not You, It's Me, by B Miller featuring Black. Um, my coolest thing, shout outs. Um, honestly, I think I'm gonna name this segment shout outs. Because coolest thing, it's just like I I can't think of like a coolest non-media whatever. Shout outs. Shout out to my sister. She got me for my birthday 4 bottles of rosé. Wow. I love rosés. Rosé is like my favorite wine. Um, but wow, that's a lot of rosé. Shout out to Time, Sin, Sellers, um, um, wine. What do you call it? Wine farm. I don't know. Winery. There we go. Wine cellar. But wow, 4 bottles of rosé. It's in this fridge right here. It's in this fridge. If you can see on my YouTube. Um, so yeah. So shout out to my sister, and let's give her, yeah, her name's Jordan. I don't know why I'm weird about that, but yeah. So that's that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap it up. So that's that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching episode 12 of the Shi-Fi podcast. I'll be seeing y'all a lot the next 10 to 14 days, getting back on track. And then afterwards, we're just going to do a normal once a week podcast with friends, and the world will be just right. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, listening. Shout out to y'all. Have a great day. And peace. 3, 2, 1. Bye.